good selling point. Oh, fuck. Ugh.
What the fuck?
Ugh. There's a cockroach in my cup holder.
Yeah.
Oh. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a 2012 Lamborghini Gallardo LP550-2. The Gallardo came out as the entry-level baby Lamborghini, and this of course is the second generation of that car. Vast improvements upon the first generation, better transmission, quite a significant sort of facelift. Really the whole car kind of went through a pretty major upgrade and just it made this car much more enjoyable to drive. This one's finished in Bianco Monoceros, factory wheels, carbon fiber wing. All of it looks incredible. One of, I think, the prettiest Lamborghinis ever made. The Gallardo, as we know, was eventually replaced by the Huracan. And so I think this is truly one of the last sort of old school supercar experiences. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. If you'd like to see all my future supercar content, including plenty of car reviews to come. So with that said, let's go ahead and take it out for a drive.
Hey! 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 Hey!
Jesus, ride quality is ass. Jesus Christ. What country are we in? So we have a 5.2 liter naturally aspirated V10, 542 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 time of about 3.6 seconds, top speed 199.
Almost.
Yeah, almost. It couldn't quite, yeah. The car weighs in at about 3,400 pounds. When the Gallardo first came out, it was something new because we were used to the V12 cars. And that was pretty much it. This was a different approach for Lambo at the time. It was a cheaper alternative to the V12 cars. A little more attainable, traditional Lambo styling, but we all agree this does not look crazy like the Aventador or like the Murcielago even, but still looks pretty wicked compared to some other competitors. Since this is the second generation Gallardo, they upgraded the transmission, of course the power itself, the actual styling, suspension tweaks, all that good stuff. Transmission in this car is way better. So starting off in sport mode, you have your Corsa setting as well, which is your track setting, which makes everything even harder and more intense. Right now we're in the middle of the road setting and everything is still very hard and very intense. Ride quality, not good. Everything else though, pretty good.
Easily the most rough car we've been in.
And what about the Scud?
But even the shifts on the Scud felt more refined.
Oh yeah.
Like the shifts on this, it feels like
they're brutal.
It feels like the bouncer at a club is like pushing me from behind, just like go.
Yeah, and then the other bouncer is just knocking you in the head with a bottle of champagne. Revs to 8,500 RPM. We are working with a 6-speed single clutch E-gear transmission. Paddle shifters, yeah, they are abnormally small. I don't know why. I think it's kind of fun with the small paddles. No?
Like target practice?
Yeah. I mean, you can shift it smoothly if you're, you know, like just kind of easing it like that. But I mean, I will say though, steering is actually quite heavy. Steering is definitely heavier than, of course, like, you know, the newer cars like the Huracan, which has ridiculously quick steering. This is has, you know, a little more feel to it, a little more weight to it. Turn in, lovely. Not as robotic as like the Huracan Evo, for example. I feel like I'm one with the car. Definitely much more so than the newer cars. I feel this much more mechanical feel. It's sort of one of the last old school supercars. Look at the competition from 2012. Ferrari 458, dual clutch transmission, much more refinement. McLaren 12C, dual clutch transmission, very comfortable ride, wicked fast, psychotically quick.
Dummy fast.
Then you had this, which kind of at the time, you know, they were kind of falling behind the competition a little bit. You know, it's kind of wild to think. I was like, oh, the 458 could have been an alternative to this car at the time, and it's pretty wild because the 458 is
It's still a monster.
It's a better car. But that's not to shy away from how incredible this car is and sort of the unique experience this car gives over that competition. Those cars don't have as much of a raw experience that sort of supercars used to really capture very well. That feeling that this car possesses, while the new car is just not as much so because they're so much easier to drive. This takes a little bit more effort to drive. The Huracan now is probably the easiest exotic to drive. It's weird, I almost want to say it's like slightly more spacious than a Huracan. Still not very spacious, like my seat's all the way back. One thing that will always be good though is that glorious V10 engine. That noise. I think this sounds better than a 458.
Do I think it sounds better than a 458?
Do you or no?
On no planet does it sound better than a 458.
Yeah, I'm going to have to actually agree with you. Perhaps my favorite thing about the E-gear transmission are the downshifts. The upshifts are pretty intense. The downshifts are actually quite smooth. It's a very slight delay, but it just spikes up in a very satisfying. It's just very... Downshifts feel very mechanical in this car. They feel very, like, with purpose. You do have a cup holder, which does fit a Mandalorian corksicle. Good selling point. Oh, fuck. Ugh.
What the fuck?
Ugh, there's a cockroach
What
in
the fuck?
There's a cockroach in my cup holder.
Fuck?
I'm just gonna keep that.
Can you pull out?
I'm just gonna keep that.
Yo.
I'm just gonna keep that in there. Anyways, with that said, you know, this car drives amazing.
What about that Corsa mode?
Oh, great idea, Giovanni. Corsa mode engaged. That was a little bit louder already, no? Oh, yo, whoa, yeah, that's
little bull riding.
Yeah,
trying to kick us off.
So Corsa mode makes gear shifts much more aggressive, gives you much more of a kind of kick in the back feeling that I love from exotics and really from Lambo. Lambo, they're the best at this. All their cars, even the newer Huracans, the Aventadors, like if you put it in Corsa mode, the shifts are just brutal. If you don't like that, if you're looking for a comfort-based exotic, yeah, this ain't it. Oh, gee, you just feel it engaging. And the shifts are definitely a little bit quicker feeling. Throttle response, a little more immediate. Because it is naturally aspirated, of course, there's no turbo lag or anything, no surprises that are meant to come like you get in the same McLaren. Oh, jeez. Just hilariously
goofy.
Yes. Okay, this guy is doing 12. Oh!
Bro, what? Well, you know my man got cup holders feeling that too.
And this being rear-wheel drive kind of keeps a bit of that Lambo fear factor that people miss. You can kind of feel everything moving around beneath you just a little bit more than the all-wheel drive version. It has 10 less horsepower than the all-wheel drive version, but weighs a little bit less, so it's kind of makes up for it. This car has orange stitching, plenty of carbon fiber inside, carbon fiber in the steering wheel, center console area. Can't see anything behind me. There could be a fucking planet behind me and I wouldn't see it. Would I prefer this with a manual transmission? Of course, and they did offer that with this generation, which is very nice. I quite like the E-Gear, I think it's fun. But I think for the price that the LP is at, you know, for $150,000 range, this is a lot of fun. And the noise. Let's go back to the noise for a second. I mean, this is one of the best sounding cars that you could buy for $150,000. Easily. I mean, 12C doesn't sound quite as emotional.
And a 458 is about 100 grand more than that.
Yes. You know, but you do get that classic Lambo scream that everyone loves. Oh. On the upshifts, they're so brutal, it almost feels like the back end is kicking out a little bit. Yep. And styling-wise, I think the Gallardo, I'm a sucker for the first gen just for nostalgia purposes, but no denying the second-gen Gallardo, I think, looks prettier. Reliability-wise, Lambo is owned by Audi, shares its platform with the Audi R8. Gallardos are pretty reliable. I mean, there's always the small little things that can go wrong with any exotic, even the more modern ones. Yeah, and I mean, you know, 12C is this price now. This obviously is nowhere near as fast as the 12C, and not even as quick as the 458 or as easy to drive, but it is in no way less fun. This has fun written all over it. A decade later, this car really is sensational still. 100%. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Go, bro.